ladies, it's Emily, and we're here to talk today a little bit about sales and marketing in Stilettos and what makes you different. As women marketing our businesses and selling our products, we do things differently than men. Not better, well, sometimes. Not worse, well, sometimes, but different. Usually, it's different. We need to embrace our authenticity, and when we do it, it helps us to differentiate ourselves from our competitors and not try to be everything to everyone and be so watered down. In my program, Sales and Marketing in Stilettos, I teach you how to set yourself apart from one another in order to dramatically increase your revenue. I may not be wearing stilettos all the time, but they're certainly symbolic for stepping up and standing out. Who doesn't notice and remember a great pair of stilettos? That's exactly what I want for you and your business. I want you to step up and stand out. So what about your style? Let's talk about that for a moment. So I get comments on my style all the time. Now, it might be on my ensemble or it might be on the way that I authentically accessorize, but people take notice. My personal style is part of my brand. It is one element that I use to share my gift with the world. Now, you might be thinking, she's nuts. And I'll admit, I'm a little nuts. I kind of like it. My personal style may seem like it has little to do with building business or repairing a damaged relationship and finding peace in your life, but I'm telling you, it has everything to do with it. So why? Emily, tell us why this your personal style has anything to do with building business. Well, it makes you unique. Now, sure, there are a million women out there wearing stilettos, but they're not doing it or wearing them the way that I am. Not one woman is created the same way that I am or that you are. We are all so different, and when I began to embrace my own authenticity and find and be me from the inside out rather than from the outside in, things began to shift for me and my life and in my business. Now, if we jump on every fashion trend and work from the outside in, we're buying into that whole trying to be everything to everyone, and we end up losing ourselves and the reason we started the business in the first place. We've got to, we have no idea who we are and what our purpose is, and we have to stay loyal to the inside and keep our why at the forefront of what we're doing every single day. Now, there are three things that I think you've really got to keep in mind as you're moving through this sales and marketing process and kind of, working to help yourself stand up and stand out, step up and stand out. And the first thing is you've got to identify, then you got to develop, and then you have to execute. So we're going to kind of go through, I kind of have some action steps here for you to kind of think about and work through as you're taking this process to the next level for you in your business. So it's time to take some action. First things first, you have to identify. Ask yourself some questions. What makes you different from me? What makes you stand out in your industry? Do you even know? Or are you saying things like, it's my customer service, or my passion, my desire, or my commitment to my clients? If you're saying those things or using those as a way to differentiate yourself, stop right now. Those are cliches that are overused, and your prospect does not buy that crap. Why? Because everyone says it. You've got to really stay true and dig deep to find your reason. Now, it may in fact be true that you are better at customer service, or your passion is what drives you, or your commitment to your client, but it's not a marketing position or a sales strategy. So you kind of got to identify that. The second thing is that you've got to know your numbers. Most small business owners that I work with, they don't know their numbers. You've got to define how many clients you need in a week, a month, a quarter, a year, and you've got to have some goals around that revenue. And if you don't know, figure it out. You've got to become a master. Step number 3 is becoming a master. You've got to master the sales process and understand the buying cycle for your specific industry and your clients. Now, my industry is going to be completely different than your industry. Say if you own a business in the pet industry, or if you're you have a little retail clothing shop, our buying cycles for our clients are going to be different. So you've really got to do a little bit of research, and you've got to figure out, what is that buying cycle like for them, and what are they going through before, during, and after they make the decision to do business with you? Many times, step number 4 is pricing is not the issue. And many times I think we get hung up on, oh, well, my competitor's doing it cheaper, so I've got to find a way to do it that way. And that is not the problem most of the time. Now, what is what is your competitor doing that you're not doing to acquire their customer? Do you even know? Are you spending time on that? How can you stop doing that and start doing something else so you're not competing on price? All too often we think that it's about the money, but I would be willing to bet that if you polled your customers, they wouldn't tell you they're loyal to you because you're the cheapest person in town. We don't have to battle in a price war as much as we think we do. Number 5 is be a consultant. What kind of a seller or a sales relationship do you have with your customer? Is it more transactional or is it based on the relationship similar to consulting? Now, I am a big fan of teaching people how to transition from being a transactional seller to being more of a consultant to their client in any industry. But I would also, if you're already the consultant type, I would encourage you to look at how you could add a product or service from the opposite category in order to reach a client and a new market or demographic. So for example, if you're a consultant to your clients already, could you offer a product that was more transactional that would appeal to someone that just needs to get started, or vice versa? Dig deep, guys. Think about it. Step number 6 is you've got to network. Are you networking? Now, everyone thinks that you have to be a type A personality, or I think this is a common myth, that you have to be a type A personality to network. And I really don't think that you do. Networking is really about finding out who you are authentically, and then who are your customers, and finding opportunities to connect with them. Doesn't necessarily have to be at a local chamber event. Doesn't have to be in those typical networking environments. There are many places to be able to network. You can do it face to face. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it in LinkedIn. If you are a local events person, you can do it there. What can you do differently to reach a different audience, or to reach your clients that maybe they don't know about you, your prospects that don't know about you? Think about who your customers are currently and how you can reach them in different ways. 7 is you've got to identify what is working. What are you doing right now to market? What have you been doing in the last year, 2 years to market your business and advertise your business? And where are your customers coming from currently? You may have to sit down and pull them. If you have not, don't just guess. Don't sit down, well, I think that they're coming from here. You've got to sit down and you've got to really, really figure it out based on the avenues that you've used to market your business in the last year. And then you might pull some of them. You might pull maybe 25% of your 25% of your customer base to figure out where are they really coming from, and you will be surprised and shocked, I think, at where most of them are coming from compared to where you think they're coming from. So identify that. Now, you've got to put together a strategy. So you've identified your numbers, you've set some goals, and you understand your customer and what motivates them to buy, and you've got to develop a strategy. So where can you go, what can you do, and how can you do it consistently in order to achieve your revenue goals? And you've got to write this stuff down. Talk about it with your team. Step 9 is an action. So now that you have that strategy in place, it's time for you to implement it. You've got to execute the plan that you have developed, and you've got to be disciplined about it. Step 10 is following up and following through. This, for me, is one of the most important parts because it is challenging to change your behavior. And if you weren't doing this already, and this is something that's new for you, I think that it's imperative that you get support. You find a coach, or you get an accountability partner, and you get moving. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody in your industry. In fact, I sometimes think it's better if you find someone outside of your industry that can help you get moving and get started on some of these actions that you have just developed. So those are steps 1 through 10. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I would love to hear your thoughts on how you are identifying, developing, and executing your sales and marketing plan, and how you are unique to your customer that is different from other people in your market, in your competitors. And are you working hard to create an opportunity where you don't have to compete, and how can you do that? I would love to be able to reach out to you. If you're interested in taking this action actual program and applying it to your business, I would love to have you in my Sales and Marketing in Stilettos program. But for now, take what I've given you and go do something with it. Have a wonderful day. Connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those places that you're already out there being social. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.